Forget the campfire and club cliche for a second. A cave-dwelling human on a totally average day likely spent more hours doing nothing that looked like survival than actually surviving. Here's what most people picture: a constant, brutal grind. Wake up hungry, spend all day hunting or gathering just to stay alive, collapse at night, repeat. Prehistoric life as one long shift with no days off. But anthropologists who study modern hunter-gatherer groups, the closest living window we have into that lifestyle, found something that upends this completely. In the 1960s, researcher Richard Lee spent time with the Jew/Hoansi people of the Kalahari Desert, one of the last groups still living primarily by hunting and gathering. He tracked exactly how they spent their time. The result? Adults worked roughly 15 hours a week to meet their food needs. Not 15 hours a day, a week. Compare that to a standard 40-hour work week today, and the math gets almost embarrassing for us. The rest of their time went to resting, socializing, storytelling, and just existing. Later studies on other foraging groups, from the Hadza in Tanzania to groups in the Amazon, found broadly similar patterns. Food gathering was often done in short, efficient bursts, not endless toil. So why does the constant struggle image dominate our imagination instead? This is where it gets interesting. Part of it comes from early anthropology itself, colored by a 19th century assumption that primitive automatically meant miserable. But the deeper mechanism is something researchers call the original affluent society idea. Not affluent in stuff, but affluent in time. Foraging societies typically didn't accumulate surplus food or possessions because in a mobile lifestyle, more stuff just means more to carry. And here's the part that still doesn't sit right with a lot of people when they first hear it. Without surplus to protect, there was less need for constant labor, less hierarchy built around ownership, and, by some measures, more actual leisure than agricultural societies developed later. Farming, when it arrived, often meant working harder, not less, in exchange for stored food security. We traded time for stability. Whether that trade was worth it is still argued over today. Sit with that for a second. We tend to imagine progress as a straight line, from struggling in caves to comfortable now. But somewhere in that story, a huge chunk of unstructured human time quietly disappeared, and we mostly stopped noticing it was gone. You, reading this on a screen, probably have more possessions than any hunter-gatherer band could carry in a lifetime. But the next time your calendar feels suffocating, it's worth asking whether the cave was really the trap, or whether the trap came later and we just got better at not seeing the bars.